Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with a breaking news alert. The North Dakota Department of Health just released their updated COVID-19 numbers. Since their last update, there are 14 new confirmed cases. 3 of those new cases are in Cass County and another is in Grand Forks County. That brings the state total to 173 cases of COVID-19 out of the 5,798 completed tests. 29 people are currently being hospitalized or have been for the illness, and 55 people have recovered from it. No new deaths have been contributed to the disease in the state. In Minnesota, their number of confirmed tests now sits at 789. That's an increase of 47 from yesterday. The Department of Health also reported 4 new deaths contributed to COVID-19. 86 patients are in the hospital right now, with 40 in the ICU. However, 410 patients now no longer require isolation. The city of Grand Forks says don't expect every road plowed until tonight. In a release, the city also says residential roads won't be plowed curb to curb right away today. And authorities around the region are busy responding to crashes, slide-offs, and other accidents. Sergeant Jesse Graybo with the Minnesota State Patrol took this photo of a semi that hit the ditch. The driver is okay. It's time to bring back those winter driving skills and slow down, give vehicles extra space, and don't use your cruise control. A travel alert still remains in effect for I-29 from Fargo to the Canadian border. Our first alert storm team meteorologists called this winter blast days ago, and sure enough, they were right. For that first check of weather, let's head on over to First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli.
And thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, some of us got moderate to heavy amounts of snow from this one. These are the snowfall totals as of 11 a.m. We're going to have an update to this at the end of the newscast. But in the 10 to 13 inch range, Badger, Buxton, Thief River Falls, Greenbush, Carlston, the Grand Forks area. In the 8 or 9 inch range, Mentor, Harwood, Cummings, Crookston. Also 8 inches of snow at Hunter and Badger, as well as Hallock. And in the 5 to 8 inch range, there's Moorhead and Fargo, Mayville, Amaretto, Pembina, Roseau, and Shelley. So definitely we did get a good amount of snow and some ice from this one. The good news is it's working its way off to the east. There's a heavier band of snow that's out of our viewing area, and just some light snow now between Valley City and the Fargo area, and that is it for this system. A good amount of us are breaking out into sunshine, but colder air is over us right now with a current temperature of 11 at Devil's Lake, still near 20 into Lakes Country. Now combine that with a really cool northerly wind of around 10 to 25 miles per hour, and it's really pumping down cool air from Canada. We'll take a look at the wind chill values coming up later, but the good news is we will have a good amount of sunshine between now and sunset, as temperatures might rise a couple of degrees from where they are right now, and that puts us in the mid-20s, but we're going to keep that windy northerly wind. We'll have a full update on what to expect as we go through this weekend. That 7-day forecast is coming up later in the newscast.
Thank you, Justin. New at noon, the Cass County, Minnesota Sheriff's Office is warning the public about a high-risk sex offender that will soon be living in the city. Authorities say 30-year-old Matthew Otteson will be released from prison on April 14th and then living in Cass Lake, Minnesota. According to the Sheriff's Department, Otteson has a history of sexual contact with a teenage girl. He is currently in prison in Lina Lakes, Minnesota. High-risk offenders are considered the most likely to reoffend. Also new for you at noon, Fargo police are trying to figure out what happened before someone fired a gun inside an apartment. That call came in around 7:30 this morning to the 1800 block of 35th Street South. Police say someone accidentally fired the gun, but no one was hurt. Authorities aren't releasing any more information at this time. Stay with us here at Valley News Live as we continue to follow this story. It was a scary drive for one person in Moorhead when their car stalled on a railroad crossing and then started on fire. The Moorhead Fire Department says that call came in around 9 last night for a car stalled on fire at the crossing of 1st Avenue and 8th Street North. When crews arrived, they quickly put out the flames and then pushed the car off the tracks. BNSF was also notified of the car that was stopped. No one was hurt in the incident, and authorities aren't sure what caused the fire or the vehicle to stall. The coronavirus pandemic is hitting farmers hard. Some dairy farmers are being forced to dump their milk instead of selling it because there is little demand with restaurants and schools closed, while other farmers are struggling to harvest their crops. Mark Strassman has more.
You're looking at one of Georgia's biggest farms, 7,000 acres, more than a dozen crops that help feed America. In this cabbage field, we found farmer Bill Brim walking with his worries.
This coronavirus has got everybody so stirred up.
Does it keep you up at night?
Oh yeah, I sleep about 2.5, 3 hours a night.
Seasonal foreign labor, mainly from Mexico, always harvests Brim's crops. But this spring, he could be 200 workers short. The coronavirus crisis has delayed the U.S. government's processing of their work visas. Bill Brim's facing a series of harvest deadlines. First one is April 15th, and these fields of squash. May 1st, it's cucumbers, and so on. And he'd better have his pickers in place.
When we start harvesting squash, we've got just days to pick it. So if our workers don't show up here on time, then we're going to be in real trouble.
It's not one of those things in life where you can say, I'll get to it next week.
No, no, sir. I wish we could.
70 miles away, Jeremy White is in bigger trouble. His blueberry crop is days away from harvest. He needs 100 pickers and packers, but they're stuck in Guatemala, where the borders are sealed because of the virus. Nobody in, nobody out.
We need them now. Absolutely, we need them now. As you can see, this fruit's turning blue and it's not waiting on anybody.
More than $1 million worth of blueberries could rot in the fields. He has no plan B.
Domestic labor just don't want to do this kind of work. It's unfortunate to say, but I mean, they just don't want to get out and do hard field labor anymore.
Gary Black is Georgia's Commissioner of Agriculture.
It is a reality. If there are not workers, there'll be crops that will go unharvested. And that has a ripple effect throughout this economy, and it will affect the consumers of this nation.
Bill Brim's worries go beyond his labor shortage. What if the workers he does have get sick? And restaurants usually buy 60% of his crops. Not this year, not with so many restaurants closed. This big farm, how much money could it lose if this doesn't turn around?
It could devastate us. It could put us out of business, really.
35 years you've owned it.
Right.
And this could be it.
That's right. Could be it. Hope not. We're hoping and praying not, We're hoping this coronavirus will get out of here and we can go back to just a little bit of normalcy.
Timing is now everything here. These crops can't wait. Mark Strassman, Tifton, Georgia.
In our consumer alert this afternoon, the coronavirus closures of Starbucks cafes has been extended. Cafe closures, as well as catastrophe pay and other benefits for employees, will run through at least May 3rd. The company will also provide non-medical grade masks to employees. Most stores remain open for drive-through or curbside pickup. McDonald's is also taking steps to mitigate the spread of coronavirus. Its restaurants will start screening employees' temperatures at the beginning of shifts. Managers will also ask employees a series of health-related questions before they start work. A majority of the restaurants have remained open for delivery, carry-out, and drive-through service. Coming up here at noon, the pandemic is affecting people in many different ways, from social distancing to job losses. But how is this impacting our pets? We break that down a little later. But next, what can you expect in our forecast on this Friday after a winter blast? Well, Justin Fanfarelli is in with what you need to know.